to the Ambassador tutorial. In our class today, we are going to be solving a question on kinematics. In my previous videos, I have actually explained some questions on kinematics. If you've not watched them, I would advise you to go to them and watch them by pressing the link in the description. And also don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. So in this class, I'm going to solve another question on kinematics to help our understanding under this topic. Going to the board, we have question 3 on kinematics, which says that the acceleration of a car is given as a function of t, or let me say as a function of time, is a in the respect of t equals to in bracket 2.0 minus 0.1 t closing the bracket meter per second squared. Full stop. If the position and the velocity at time t equals 0 seconds, our position, which is s naught, equals to 0 meter, and our velocity, which is v naught, equals 10 meter per second squared. The question now says, what is the velocity of the car after t is equals to 2 seconds? Then we are given options. Anytime you are solving a kinematic equation, you will always firstly identify the kind of equation given to you. Now, if you look at our question, the kind of equation given to us is this. Writing it out, solution. Actually, that's a in the function of t is equals to 2.0 minus 0.1 t closing the bracket meter per second squared. The question is, what kind of kinematic equation is this? Is it acceleration? Is it velocity? Is it distance or displacement? How will you know? The way you know is that considering the unit, we have meter per second squared. And we only know that acceleration is only measured in meter per second squared. So that means this kind of kinematic equation is an acceleration kinematic equation. But what are we asked to find? We are asked to find what is the velocity of the car after t is 2 seconds. There's something you have to know. Recall, in equation of motion, we will all know that our a is equals to the change in v over change in t. What do I mean by saying that? That means your change in velocity over change in time is equals to acceleration. But in physics, these are change in v over change in t can be written as dv over dt. So I have that my a is equals to dv over dt. But the goal from what we have to find is to find velocity. Find velocity. That's what the question asks us to find. That means I need to make my velocity the change of surrogate of formula. And how can I achieve that? If I want to find my velocity as the change of surrogate of formula, I have to cross multiply first. When I cross multiply, I'm going to have dv equals to a dot dt. As you can see, my dv is equals to a dot dt because the a will multiply the t. The next thing to get is to get your velocity. But there's something happening here. We have differential sign. How do you cancel out the differential sign? Is by integrating both sides. When you integrate both sides by saying the integral of dv equals to the integral of a dot dt, it means integral sign cancel differential sign. Now you have that our v is equals to the integral of a dot dt. So that means for me to get my velocity, from acceleration, I will need to what? Integrate acceleration to get velocity. That's as simple as that. And that's the way we are going to solve it in our class today. Now, the first thing is, how do you integrate? A quick one. Under integration. In integration, let's assume we have y equals to the integral of x in the power of n. Anytime you are dealing with integration, it's just the opposite of differentiation. In integration, what we do is that when we have the power of n, instead of subtracting 1 in differentiation, we are going to add 1 to this. And instead of bringing it to the back, in differentiation, we are going to divide it by this. As simple as that. It's just the opposite of whatever you are doing in differentiation. So it means that my y is equal to add 1 to this. That means I'm going to have x n plus 1. Immediately you're adding 1, you divide it by the power. That's n plus 1. But don't forget, we are dealing with indefinite integral. It means there will be a constant. So this is how you integrate. And that's how I'm going to integrate my acceleration to get my velocity. Let's do that fast. Now that I have that, the kinematic equation of my acceleration is equals to 2.0 minus 0.1 t, closing the bracket, meter per second squared. So any place I have a, I'm going to put my value of acceleration. So that means v is equal to the integral of the value of acceleration we have is 2.0 minus 0.1 t, then we have dot dt, meaning that in the respect of t. I need to integrate this my acceleration to get my velocity. A quick one, let's integrate this. But before we integrate, I want to assume something here. V is equals to the integral. Do you know that this can be written as 2t in the power of 0? Because t in the power of 0 is 1, then 2 times 1 we give back your 2. Then we have minus 0.1 t in the respect of dt. So how do you integrate? I told you add 1 to the power, then you divide it. Add 1 to the power, then you divide it. Picking the first one, I'm adding 1 to 0. That means 2t is 0 plus 1. Immediately divided by 0 plus 1. Minus, here, same thing, 0.1 t. Here is the power of 1. I'm going to have 1 plus 1. Immediately divide by 1 plus 1 in the respect of dt. The next thing you ought to do is now simplify. In simplifying, but before you simplify, I'm not supposed to have dt because I've already differentiated. I should have plus c. Thank you for that correction. Now let's move on. I have v equals to, here is 2t in the power of 1 over 1 minus 0.1 t in the power of 2 over 2 plus c. So how can we write it in a normal way? We have equation. We're going to have that v is equals to 2t, because 2t divided by 1 is 2t, minus, when you try to use your calculator to find 0.1 divided by 2. 0.1 divided by 2, this is 1 over 10, that's 0. I can write it as t squared over 20 plus c. So this is what we have. And this is what we are going to do. So how do we solve this? I need to find my velocity, but I can't solve my velocity without knowing the value of my c. So how do we get the value of our c? Recall from the question. The question told us that if the position and the velocity at time t is equal to 0, so that means any place I have my t, I'll put 0, and also our initial position is 0 meter, but we don't have x as our initial position, then our initial velocity as 10 meter per second. It means any place I have my velocity, I'm going to put 10 meter per second square, per second, and it will help me get in the value of my c. Okay, let's solve that. To get the value of my c, find c. So we have that v equals to 2t minus t squared over 20 plus c. Recall that we said v is equal to 10 meter per second from the question, and t is equal to 0 seconds from the question. So any place I have my v, I'll put 10 meter per second. Any place I have my t, I'm going to put 0 seconds. So what do we have? Here we have 10 equals to 2 in the bracket of 0 minus Z square over 20 plus C. As you all know that everything is going to turn to 10, 2 times 0 is still 0, then 0 divided by 20 is still going to be 0 plus C. Hence, my C is equals to 10. Now that you know the value of my C to be equals to 10, then I try to input it to where I have my formula for velocity. So that means, therefore, the formula for velocity will be written as 2t minus t squared over 20 plus, instead of writing c, I'm going to have 10. With this, you cannot be able to get the value of velocity when your t from the question is 2 seconds. Now let's get the value of our velocity. Find velocity. Now we need to get the value of our velocity. Since we know that the velocity formula is v equals to 2t minus t squared all over 20 plus 10. If you read our question carefully, you would have seen it was stated in the question that what is the velocity of the car after t is equal to 2 seconds. They give us the value of time. Find v, which are question mark, when t is equal to 2 seconds. So that means any place I have my t, I'm going to put 2 seconds. Now I'm going to have my v equals to 2t, that means 2 in the bracket of 2, minus t squared, that means 2 all squared, then 20 plus 10. That means 4 minus 4 over 20 plus 10. So that means we have 4 minus, we can find the LCM here, or we can break this down. 4 here is 1, 4 here is 5. So that means 1 over 5 plus 10. Then we can get the value of our V by looking for the LCM. The LCM here is 5. 1 in 5 is 5. 5 times 4, that's 20. Minus 5 in 5 is 1. 1 times 1, that's 1. Plus 1 in 5 is 5. 5 times 10, and that's 50. With the help of a calculator, when we try to punch it, we have 20 minus 1 plus 50. That's 69. That's 69 over 5. So 69 divided by 5, we are going to answer to be 13.8 meter per second.